Hi, good afternoon. We have discussed and explained different concepts of Islamic economist from medieval economic thought. Then we have to study one more Islamic economist. His name is Ibn Khaldun. Ibn Khaldun. He born in 1332 AD. He born in Tunis. Tunis is his place, Tunisia. Then he studied Islam, philosophy, logic, law, grammar, poetry means music, economics, sociology, history, and various subjects he have studied during that time. His economics concepts, his major economic concepts are as follows. First one, economic surplus. Ibn Khaldun recommended less government expenditure for unproductive work, because if government spend more money for unproductive work, merely it is a wastage. So he strongly recommended less government expenditure for unproductive work, and he emphasized the use of resources for developmental work only. The government must use resource of the country for development of the nation. Next concept is foreign trade. It is essential to increase economic surplus. To develop economic surplus, for the growth of economic surplus, foreign trade is must. So he favored favorable trade because it is essential to increase economic surplus. Then specialization of labor. The previous classes also we discussed the idea of specialization of labor. Then the production will increase. If labors are specialized in each category or in each section, their work will be more productive and production also increase. Thereby the specialization of labor is a good idea for the production increase. Then law of demand and supply. Law of demand and supply. He also explained law of demand and supply, that also we have discussed in the previous class. Next concept he explained about monetary policy. Good monetary policy aiming protection of purchasing power of money. Stable monetary policy aiming the protection of purchasing power of money. If government have no stable money policy, monetary policy, thereby inflation will increase or deflation will occur. So many instability in the country will held. So to protect money value, he recommended a stable monetary policy. The population has to be protected from the unjust policies of the rulers. The king or ministers should follow a just, equal policies to protect the citizens or people. He was against the unjust policies and the principles of the rulers. And he also recommended stable currency for the nation. We know in 2018, sorry, the 2016-17, there are so many changes in the money policy of the monetary policy of the India. So now our value of money is decreased. So to protect value of money, stable monetary policy and stable currency policy should be followed by the government. Then he also explained about production, importance of production, less taxation policy. He favored taxation policy as per the concept of Quran, less taxation depending upon the ability of the people. Then fixed price. The price should not be changed in frequent manner. It should be controlled by the government. Then private property right. Each individual have freedom to purchase property. They have right to their property. So in Quran there are so many rules for the private property right. So he followed this principle. Then judicial system for justice, a good court system or judicial system followed during that period. Then creative education system also followed. Then next economic thought we have to study from the medieval economic thought is mercantilism. Mercantilism is also called Bullianism or Colbertism or Cameralism. Mercantilist thought was wealth of nation could be increased by trade towards the increased by the trade. We have already studied the international trade, the concept regarding mercantilism. So mercantilist thought was wealth of nation could be increased only by trade. Towards the end of the Middle Age, nationalism became strong force. Towards the end of the Middle Age, each country want to become independent. It is the nationalism. So during that time, nationalism became a strong force. Europe changed greatly as a result of Renaissance, Industrial Revolution and Reformation. During that time, European concepts were changed totally as a result of Industrial Revolution or Renaissance or Reformation. Feudalism came to an end. Feudalism came to an end. Each nation wanted to become independent. During this time, money was a problem. Money was scarce. From the 16th century, exchange economy became the rule. From the 16th century, exchange economy became the rule. Market developed and use of money increased. Due to the difficulties of barter system, they started money and markets developed and use of money also increased during that time. The mercantilists were practical men. The mercantilists were practical. Their aim was to make his country strong. Their main objective is to make their country to become a strong country. Wealth consists, as per their idea, wealth consists precious metals like gold and silver. Bullion have more durable. Bullion means wealth. They are durable wealth, most useful and acceptable form of wealth like silver, gold. they are durable. Gold and silver are not perishable, they are exist for long period. They are acceptable form of wealth. Trade was the most important occupation because they followed, they are believing wealth of nation, wealth of the individual increase only by trade. So they considered major occupation is only trade. Industries were ranked second position. First status for trade. Second status of occupation is considered as industry. Then agriculture was the least one. They considered agriculture is the most least occupation. Then role of state. State is necessary to regulate country. Government is must to regulate the country. Impose heavy import duty to discourage import of foreign goods. They charged heavy import duty to discourage import of foreign goods. They favored for exporting their goods to foreign country. Then they can earn foreign currency. But they are not favorable to import of products from other countries. So they charged heavy import duty. Then role of money. They considered money is precious metal. Since gold and silver were durable, they have high value. Since gold and silver were durable, they have high value, can be acceptable at any time. There was close relationship between employment and quantity of money. There was close relationship between employment and quantity of money. To increase money, production should increase. Then next concept, rate of interest. They supported low rate of interest. They supported only less rate of interest. Then balance of trade. They believed foreign trade as a tool for increasing nation's wealth and treasure. They believed foreign trade as a tool for increasing nation's wealth and treasure. They insisted favorable balance of trade. For exporting, they gave priorities for those commodities with a high labor content value. So, balance of trade means value of export equals value of import. For exporting, they gave priority for the commodities with a high labor content value. If they are exporting to other country, it is very luxurious item or maybe normal item, but it have only high labor content value. From that trade, they are expecting good money. So they favored only for exporting. Next concept is population. They believed population growth is benefited to increase soldiers, sailors. They believed population growth is benefit to increase soldiers and sailors. Actually, they believed if population will increase in the country, that must be utilized for the growth of soldier community and sailors community. Otherwise, they have not supported population growth. The important economist during this period were Thomas Mann. He lived in England during 1571 to 1641 AD. Then Antonio Serra, he lived in Italy. He lived during 1580 to 1650. Then another one, Philip von Horneck. Philip von Horneck. He lived in Austria, not Australia, Austria. He lived during 1638 to 1712. So these are the major economists coming under mercantilism. So today we discussed about Ibn Khaldun and his economic ideas. Ibn Khaldun, born in Tunis, he studied different subjects. He was a great scholar. His ideas also, presently his ideas have great influence. Then he discussed about economic surplus, foreign trade, specialization of labor, law of demand and supply, monetary policy, production, less taxation policy, fixed price, private property right, judicial system, or creative educational system. Education system should be creative, then it is good indicator for the development of the country. Then we discussed today as mercantilism. It is also called Bullianism, Colbertism, mercantilism. They considered trade is the most important occupation. Industry is considered as second status. Agriculture is considered as least status. Their main aim was to accumulate wealth that can be increased by trade only. So at that time, nationalism became more force. Each country wanted to become independent. During that time, money was very scarce, so they believed to increase money, trade is must. Then market developed during that time. Then using of money also started. Then they are practical. Their aim was to make his country become more strong. They considered bullion is more durable and most useful and acceptable form of wealth. They give more importance for the gold to accumulate gold and silver. Then state government is must to control the country. They charged high import duty to control import of foreign goods. Then they considered money is precious metals. Gold and silver are very durable and high value. So to accumulation of these items is considered as good activity. Then they believed there was close relationship between employment and quantity of money. They favored, they supported less rate of interest, and they believed supported balance of trade for exporting. They give priority for commodities with a high labor content value. Then population growth. They not supported population growth, but if it is useful to increase the number of soldiers and sailors, it is a good one. Otherwise, they were not supported population growth. Thomas Mann, Antonio Serra, and Philip von Hornig are the different economists coming under this branch. Okay, we are concluding this session. So far, we have discussed about medieval economic thought. Among the medieval economic thought, we discussed different ideas of St. Thomas Aquinas, then Islamic economic thought and mercantilism also. The next class we have to discuss about physiocrats. Okay, thank you.